Hey, good evening, my fellow apes. So first and foremost, thank you for taking your time out to check out this video. I truly appreciate it. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. But if you like the video, please hit the like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel. If you don't like it, do all the same things, but leave me some feedback so I know what I need to change. So AMC, we've had a heck of a ride this last week. We finished Friday off at 8:05, which, in my personal opinion, was great for us. I have AMC's chart pulled up here tonight with a couple indicators. This yellow line is your 200-day estimated moving average, and your white line right here is your 15-day moving average. Anytime the white line is above the yellow line, it signifies we're in bullish territory, and when it's below the yellow line, we are in bearish territory. As you can see looking at the chart, we spent most of Friday in bullish territory, which is awesome. I love it. Now, I know a lot of people didn't see the run up that they were hoping for, but like I said last weekend, this was not when it was going to happen. We finished 801, which we put a lot of calls into where they expired in the money last week. And now finishing at 805, we put a significant amount in the money this week too. But we still need to give the gamma squeeze time to work. Looking at the volume, in my personal opinion, those 37 billion dollars in shares that were failed to be delivered, in the 19 million shares themselves last week that expired in the money, has still not been delivered. So I think we are sitting in a very good spot. It's just, we got to have patience. I went to this website, counterfeitingstock.com, and they had a great breakdown of the anatomy of a short squeeze. They broke it down into 9 steps. And in my ape brain here, I was able to determine that I have personally seen 7 of those 9 steps happen. So step number 1 that they do is they do short ladder attacks. We've all been talking about those. We know the counterfeit shares. Well, we can't say we know. We believe with all of our hearts that the counterfeit shares are there, and they have flooded the market to drive the price down and to artificially lower it. A media assault with on the company itself. Well, we've seen all the articles saying that we shouldn't be in AMC and AMC will not squeeze, all that stuff. Analysts reports. Analysts are predicting this will be a dollar stock. I don't see that at all. It was a $20 to $30 stock pre-COVID when movies were at their best. The 4th step of anatomy of short squeeze was moles in the company. We don't know if that's there. It could be, but there's no way that us as retail investors will ever see that. Frivolous SEC investigations. So we've seen all the talk about they want to investigate the Reddit and the Wall Street bets and all that stuff about stock manipulation. Class action lawsuits against the company. This one I had to do a search, and I did find some class action lawsuits that were not from 2021 but from 2020 that were on some law firms' websites about they weren't being smart with the company and they were buying bad things and doing bad business practices and stuff like that. So we know the short squeeze has been, or we know the shorting has been going on for a while. So I went ahead and counted that. Interfering with large customers' purchases. We will never know if that happens. It could be happening. Number 8 was pulling margin from long customers, like Fidelity did it to Trey's Trades over there. I know his account got liquidated. So I could see that being one of the steps that happened. And then the last step was paid bashers. We know all about the bots that are all over the social media sites, posting the same exact comment back to back to back on different sites. So, in my opinion, we are in the thick of it right now. So what happened Friday? Well, I took it as very good news. There was an SEC filing, not violation. I don't even know. That's not even a word. But there's an SEC filing that was requesting a shareholder meeting for us to vote on 500 million shares to be added, which would essentially double the amount of shares in the company. Now, generally speaking, that would dilute the shares. But there are a lot of websites and different things on Reddit which have shown me kind of a different view on this. And I know nobody likes the Reddit view, but or the Reddit research, but I mean it's there. It's take it with a grain of salt. If I can find multiple sources on it, then I think there's some legitimacy behind it. But there's a lot of different ones saying that this is a good thing, and this is something we've been asking for, because by them asking for or requesting a shareholder meeting, they're going to have to pull all the stocks back in and count them and account for all the ones, which will weed out the artificial shares, which is exactly what we want to do. This count is supposed to be completed by March 11th. So kind of what I see in the future for this week, starting off on March 8th, is I think there's going to be an immediate drop in the price as the hedge funds try and push the price down. They need to get this price below $5, because while it was running at $5.50, they still were not covering their short positions. And us as apes, we need to hold and keep holding, keep the pressure on, and keep driving the price up anytime we can. So that while the end is in sight, there's still an ugly fight ahead of us. Just to recap what we have going for us for this, though. We have the recount and verification by the 11th. Quadruple witching, that's going to happen on the 19th. There could be about 30 million shares between the failure to delivers and the call options that are owed, that are still out there that need to be delivered. There's a common belief that 2 to 3 times of the actual shares are actually counterfeit shares out there, which if you look at the volume from January 27th, it was 1.2 billion in volume. So that means all the shares traded hands multiple times. And I know for a fact, I didn't sell my shares, but it doesn't say that Joe Schmo down the street didn't sell his shares 4 times that day. But either way, it's still a giant volume. And the big one, I think, is this stimulus package, which has now been approved in the House, has seen its changes and approved by the Senate, and is back in the House to be voted on again. That's going to give $1,400 per person that qualifies for it, which is pretty much almost all the retail investors are. But it's going to give us some significant buying power, and it should be hitting our bank account. If it gets approved this next week, we should be getting our hands on it before, I would think before the quadruple witching on the 19th. So apes, just hold strong. The end is near. I truly believe so. But we got to make sure we don't give in, we don't fall for these short ladder attacks, and we don't let them lower the price on us. Thank you for taking your time to listen to this.